From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather, live at 5.
Hey folks, good evening. Glad you could join me for this December 27th edition of your weather live at 5, right? So let's see what we got in store here for the rest of this evening. Lows probably bottoming out somewhere in the mid-50s across the area. Not much cooler than our highs were today because we got that sharp air out of the Gulf of Mexico, that warm, moist air helping insulate the atmosphere, and we're staying pretty cloudy out there. That's paving the way for an unsettled Saturday. We've been talking about this, right? Highs are going to be in the mid to upper 60s across the area with thunderstorms as we head through the afternoon and evening hours, and especially into the overnights after sunset. So, you know, it's no surprise, right? When we start seeing 67, 68, 69 degrees in December as we wrap up 2024, yeah, you know, that's kind of the sign of the times, right? So let's walk through this. Let's take a look at Futurecast, see what we have in store for the next 12 hours to start with. And through tonight, you see there's some still kind of lingering showers off to the east. Those push off, and we really don't have anything too widespread. You notice a few stray ones here. They're not a big deal, but that cloud cover really stays pretty dense as we head through tonight and into tomorrow morning. Highs are going to be back in the 60s. Like I said, check it out there by this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. 70, some of us. I think it's possible. I do think it's entirely possible. We're already starting to see some downpour activity, some showers moving in by about midday or so, early afternoon. But I think the bulk of the heavy rain, heavy thunderstorm activity, the strong to severe threat, I think that's going to be sunset or so and into the overnight hours, right? Looks like we kind of have a multi-round sort of thing here as this pushes east and north into the Tennessee Valley. And that batch of precipitation, well, could go one or two ways. Let's go through it. All right, so as of right now, all indications point to the highest threat being way off to our south and west. This is true. As to how far north the highest sort of severe weather goes, well, there are a couple options. Either the instability could lift north, which helps power those thunderstorms and could provide maybe a few severe storm chances. That's winds 60 miles an hour or higher, or even a couple tornado warnings. Or more likely, the storms could be kind of cut off, which means the instability kind of gets stuck due to a lot of rain blocking it off, and we stick with just the more general thunderstorm activity, maybe a couple strong storms. So we're kind of in between these two minds right now, but it really depends on how it evolves the day of. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on it. But if nothing else, I do think we'll be seeing some strong storms. And what I mean by that is very heavy downpours within that, right? Frequent lightning, perhaps the very noisy type of lightning that kind of rattles you whenever you hear it because of that inversion above the surface that kind of helps it reverberate through the atmosphere. And of course, maybe wind gusts 30, 40 miles an hour. But again, it's entirely possible that the trends could go towards that moisture and instability surging into the Tennessee Valley. And that again could provide the better chance for some severe weather, maybe one or two tornado warnings with that as well. We're just going to have to watch this, okay? So don't worry about it. This is not going to be some huge tornado outbreak. You know, nothing like that, right? Notice I'm not using that kind of language. Just keep in touch with us here. Watch us as we have the updates coming in. We'll interpret the data. We'll let you know. So don't worry too much about it. Get through it just fine. And in fact, afterwards, looks like we have some pretty nice weather in store. By the time we're heading through Sunday and Monday, we clear out pretty nicely. A few lingering showers Sunday morning, but otherwise not too bad. And we still have a day or so with that warm air coming out of the Gulf of Mexico by Monday. So our highs will still be in the upper 50s, lower 60s. Not too bad. But then another front comes through and cools us down in a pretty big way as we head through the rest of the week. A few lingering showers Tuesday notwithstanding. I think we have a pretty nice week in store for us and mostly dry besides that day. So we just got to get through this before we get to this nicer pattern here, which is going to be much cooler as well. So we see these 60s, that's going to turn into 50s and even 40s by the end of the week. But again, let's get through what we have over the next 24 to 36 hours before we start talking next week, right? Which again does look pretty decent. So like I was saying, just stay with the Tennessee Valley weather team. We'll get through this just fine. Does not look like some high-end major severe weather event. But like I said, if the trend goes towards more moisture and instability into the area, we could see some severe weather pop up here in the area. And maybe one or two of those could take advantage of the atmosphere and spin a tornado warning up or two. But again, we're not looking at anything major, and more likely than not, we'll have some strong storms to deal with, nevertheless. So thanks for joining me here. I'll be back with you at 6 and 9 this evening for more fresh from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, and I'll speak to you then, so be sure to tune in.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.